Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tipped Balls podcast. I am your host, Sam Randazzo, and I am joined today by my two rather burly co-hosts. To my right, it is the one and only Uncle Sam.
Hello.
And behind the computer, looking a touch slow, it is Bruce, the Tugboat. Venditti.
What's up?
Well,
Pouring my beer here.
I swear to God. Well, we are officially, 30 hours away from kickoff of the first NFL game of the season, which will be in Los Angeles, where the Bills will take on the Rams in a highly anticipated game. If you remember, the last game of last year was played there, the Super Bowl, where the Rams beat the Bengals, and the first game of this year will also be played at SoFi Stadium. The Bills are a pretty heavy favorite on the road going into that game, and I think there's a lot to dissect there, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. Right now, 90% of you are probably done drafting your fantasy teams, and by tomorrow morning when you guys are listening to this, all of you will most likely be done drafting your fantasy teams unless somebody's crazy enough to draft tomorrow at noon. But tonight, we will be drafting the Tipped Balls Fantasy League. And there is going to be 12 teams, PPR scoring. We are over the moon excited for it. It's going to be a great league. The winner gets $1,000 with no buy-in. So you guys stay up to date on that. We'll be posting team results and everything on our Instagram. The guys who are in there, thank you for signing up. It's going to be a great season. For everything else, fantasy news, we're going to come to you with a show every week, strictly about fantasy from here on out. So this week, again, yesterday we drafted our own fantasy leagues and all of that, so there won't be a fantasy episode this week, but next week and all the coming weeks of the season there will be. As far as fantasy goes, we have a league that we've been in for the last 5 years, and our draft was last night, and there was, between everybody in this basement, there was 3 massively different draft strategies. Uncle Sam drafted every single rookie in the draft. Bruce just
Freeballed it.
took a giant shit like a Doberman in the middle of a field. I mean, it was pretty
Did
rancid.
not go according to plan.
It didn't go according to plan. Everything that we've talked about down here for the last, I don't know, 4
I
months
just remember
went out
him
the
on
window.
messaging on the thing talking about it cut out. I can't get back in, this, that.
That wasn't me.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
No, I said it made me choose 2 players I didn't want.
How does it make you choose?
I was
2
driving
players you didn't
home.
want?
Okay. Stopped at a stop sign, went to go. I go, oh shit, I'm on the clock. Clicked 1 and it double clicked, and I got 2 guys that I didn't want.
Oh, because you had back-to-back picks. Yeah, Bruce picked last, so he had the 14th and 5th and 14th pick of one round and the first pick of the next. So, well, anyways, yeah, it was pretty rough. I know you're happy with your team though. Your team of rookies.
It's boomer bust.
Yeah, you're projected to lose by 25.
I'm
in week 1.
projected to finish dead last.
Yep. Yep.
I was picking at 10. They got me placing at 14,
Yep.
and it was boomer bust.
But that was the way you wanted it to go. It went according to plan for you, right?
I had planned on solidifying my offense, is what I did, tried to anyway. And then, defensively, I reached for a lot of guys that
I mean, your
a lot of
entire
people don't know who
defense.
they are.
Your entire defense is essentially rookies. I mean, you have Boye Mafa, you have
Yeah.
Quay Walker,
Yeah,
you have Kayvon Thibodeau.
yep.
We do IDP for everybody who doesn't know.
Stingley.
Derek Stingley. I mean, he took every high-end rookie defensive player that there was for the most part. Some things that surprised me about you, you took Juju Smith-Schuster, who all you do on this podcast is shit talk.
It's not that. I just felt like he is going to be the guy there.
Well, he's your wide receiver 1 with Chris
Yeah.
Olave and Garrett Wilson, 2 more rookies behind him. I was also surprised by your Kyle Pitts pick.
Kyle Pitts is going to get absolutely ass-hammered with targets.
Hopefully.
Oh, I think he's going to.
That one's going to be an interesting one. And
I like Mariota because he can move around, and I think that's going to help Pitts get separation.
Uh,
Where Matt Ryan can't move. He was a fucking statue back there.
so you took Lamar Jackson at 47.
Correct. Because I knew he wouldn't be there in the 50s.
I think that was a little bit of a reach, personally.
Well, I personally think Jackson, with the rushing touchdowns that he'll acquire, is he's the guy. He'll put up some massive points.
I took Aaron Rodgers at pick 109. So
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, stole him right from me.
I was very happy with
Had
that
him
pick.
queued up and everything.
As far as Bruce's team goes, let's dissect this one a little bit.
God, here we go.
So you have Derek Carr. Okay. You took Cam Akers.
Okay, you skipped right over Aaron Jones.
I didn't love the Aaron Jones pick either.
I did.
I would have taken.
I don't like Aaron Jones, period. I think Dillon's
right.
going to have his
Yeah, I
job
think
by next
A.J.
year.
Dillon's going to steal a lot of his targets.
Smoke
But you
that.
took Aaron Jones and Cam Akers over both Leonard Fournette and Javonte Williams. Two guys who we've done nothing but praise on this show.
Well, I
And you
didn't
went and
see
took two
Javonte on
guys-
there because I would have taken him.
You went and took two guys who we have said over and over we don't like.
No, we don't trust. I don't trust Cam Akers. I really
No.
don't.
Am I you guys?
Huh?
Am I you guys?
No.
No, but as far as the brain capacity goes, you don't even listen to your own show.
Yes.
Doesn't mean I agree.
What?
You guys
You
talk
sat
shit
down
about.
here and you told us Javonte Williams could finish as a running back 1.
Yes, but that doesn't exclude Cam Akers.
Right, but if there's somebody who you believe could
Who do you
finish,
think is going to have more yards at the end of the year, Cam Akers or Javonte Williams?
you might have caused a short circuit here.
Beep, beep, beep.
Oh, I'm doing the Dan Campbell from last night.
I'm sorry?
There's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of ways.
Did you watch
There's a
Hard
lot of
Knocks
ways
last
I could answer that question.
Who do you think is going to have more yards at the end of the year?
He didn't watch Hard
Javonte
Knocks.
Williams
Cam Akers.
or Cam Akers? Really?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Yes, I
He's
do.
just being a dick right now. Anyways, A.J. Brown, Hunter Renfro, and Adam Thielen. I don't mind that. Dawson Knox, don't mind that.
I'm not crazy about Adam Thielen, but,
Now,
you know.
it's Bruce's bench that did it for me. On Bruce's bench, he has Miles Sanders, which I don't hate, Raheem Mozart,
I don't hate that.
Devontae Parker, B. Jordan, Brevin Jordan, and Paris Campbell. So good luck with that.
Paris Campbell?
But anyways, again, it's a 14-team league with 30 rounds. It took 3 hours to draft, and
And I was at a birthday party.
Bruce was out drinking at a birthday party the whole
Bruce
time.
was
So,
at a party.
What?
again, this is our
Frat
last...
boy party.
A what?
Nothing.
Anyways, this is our last show before the season officially starts. Obviously, we'll have a show that we're recording Friday that will come out on Saturday that will recap tomorrow night's game and preview all of the Sunday games. That's going to be the format kind of going forward. But with this being the last show before the season officially starts, before we talk about tomorrow night's game, we are going to give you our preseason predictions. So, we're going to go through all of the postseason awards and tell you who we think is going to come out at the end of the year as it stands right now. We're going to go through a couple playoff picks, Super Bowl, NFC, AFC winner picks, and then we're going to talk about tomorrow night's game. So, put some cool music in right here and let's get into it. We're going to do our picks. Let's go. Okay. So I think we should start out with Coach of the Year because I think there's going to be a couple
I
of
thought you
you.
were going to go down the line. Shit.
Well, I want to start with Coach of the Year and get that one out of the way. So who do you have for your preseason Coach of the Year?
Me? Personally?
You.
I actually like the cat in Philadelphia. What's his name?
Here we go with not knowing who the fuck we're going to talk
Sorry.
about before we
Well,
say it.
All right. Sorry about that. Nick Sirianni, I think he possibly could be coach of the year. Absolutely.
You're saying that not because you like what Nick Sirianni, just because you like the Eagles.
I just love what they've done with their team, period. Period. The roster is perfect. All they have to do is put it together.
Well,
They're in a weak division,
they are in a
okay, because you play with the Cowboys and the Reds. Well, not the Redskins, the Commanders, which is stupid. And I just think it'll be easy pickings for them. It should be.
They should.
They should win their division.
Dallas will probably be there with them, but they should really.
They should give the rest of them teams fits. The
Yeah.
Giants are crap. You know, it is what it is. The Commanders are the Commanders. The Giants are crap. They should win that.
Wow, my pick's really low.
So I'm going to go with Nick Sirianni.
Bruce, I think I already know the answer to this question, but who's your pick?
He's my honorable mention.
Oh, we have Bruce. Bruce did his homework. He has honorable mentions for this.
I'm going to say Brandon Staley just because of my Super Bowl pick.
Who?
Dan Campbell as an honorable mention.
Brandon Staley as his
Brandon
pick.
Staley.
Coach for the Chargers.
Oh. I don't know.
Well,
They
Bruce,
win their first Super Bowl this year. He has to.
Bruce already gave away his Super Bowl pick.
There you go. Well, it hasn't changed. So
That's
listen
true.
to the
Okay.
podcast. It hasn't changed.
My pick for Coach of the Year is going to be Doug Pederson. Because I think that Jacksonville was such an
Doug
atrocity.
Peterson?
Yes. Did I say his name wrong?
You said Patterson.
Oh, excuse me. Doug Peterson.
Okay.
My bad. Jacksonville was such an atrocity last year.
Yeah.
And Urban Meyer was so bad. And I think that team has so much talent. Do I think that they are going to transcend this year like Cincinnati did last year? No. But do I think you're going to see a lot of highlights from them? Do I think you're going to see a lot of production? And do I think you're going to see a team that can rally around a guy? Yeah. If we recall, he won a Super Bowl in Philly. So
Yeah. They beat the Patriots.
they beat the Patriots. He's got the experience. I think the guys will play for him. And there's a lot of talent there that hasn't been untapped yet.
They have probably the youngest talent-wise. They have the best young guys on their roster. I think better than any team in the league.
100%. I agree with that. And I think they're going to
That's because
surprise a
they're
lot of
picking
people
at the
this
top
year.
every fucking year.
Right.
That's why.
I think they're going to surprise people this year. I'm not as high on them as I was previously because at one point I said they'd win that division. But I still think they're gonna
They're going to make
surprise a
some
lot
noise.
of teams.
They're going to make some noise.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay,
Yeah, but to win Coach of the Year, they're going to have to win their division.
I don't know
For
about
a guy
that.
to win a Coach of the Year, they're going to have to win their division and get into the playoffs and make a little noise in the playoffs to win Coach of the Year. You have to.
I don't know about that.
I do. I think
I
so.
think if there's massive improvement, you could make an argument.
Listen, if they won 9 games,
That's why Dan Campbell was my honorable
Yeah.
mention.
if Dan Campbell won 9 games, he deserves Coach of the Year.
Agree. If Doug Peterson wins 9 games, he deserves Coach of the Year.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's the target. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Uncle Sam.
I'm going to go out onto a limb here. Now, I was going to go quarterback, but I don't think there's any rookie quarterbacks that really stand out to me right now. So I'm going to probably go. I'm going to go running back. I got a feeling
He's gonna
Brees
say that-
Hall
Yeah,
possibly could win Rookie of the Year.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
he's got the talent.
that's who I have. But if Kenny Pickett actually comes out and
Well, he's not going. You know what?
you could see him being Rookie of the Year.
Well, Trubisky's going to have to shit the bed hard to lose that job.
So you don't have any sort of
Well, there was a couple of receivers. I think Chris Olave has a chance to be Rookie of the Year.
you don't have any sort of issue with the fact that Michael Carter is still a Jet and was productive last year. And that they might try and work Brees Hall in a little bit
I don't
slower.
think so. I think Brees Hall is the guy. I don't think they would have drafted Brees Hall if they were totally confident with Michael Carter.
Okay.
That my answer to that.
Your thoughts on Brees? Because I'll be honest with you, up until 2 weeks before the draft, Kenneth Walker was the running back everybody cared about coming out of this draft. Brees Hall was in that conversation, but he wasn't as highlighted as I think Kenneth Walker was. And then as soon as he got drafted to the Jets and Walker went to the Seahawks, everybody knows how fucking bad the Seahawks are going to be, and the Jets actually have a little bit of potential. That kind of got overshadowed.
See, I really think Kenny Pickett could be the answer to this.
Kenny Pickett has to start first. That's the issue.
Kenny Pickett's not going to see
But
the
like,
field
I don't see
for
Mitch
at least 5
Trubisky
weeks.
actually being the answer there. Like, they drafted Kenny Pickett for a reason. Just as
but they had
everybody
They
else.
also signed a veteran because they weren't going to throw this kid to
played,
the wolves,
like,
obviously.
no offense, like decently his entire career.
Well, if you remember, they're
Decently. And
one
if
of
you
the
say he
guys
beat
that
the
were on
Lions
roster
with
got hit by a
Chicago.
truck.
What?
Just don't.
One of the guys
Just
that were
don't.
on
We
the roster
know.
got hit by a truck, remember?
Okay. That is irrelevant
Either
right now.
way.
That is
So
irrelevant.
is your
Do you
pick
think
Brees
Kenny
Hall or
Pickett
Kenny Pickett?
was...
I'm taking
you think
Kenny
Kenny
Pickett.
Pickett is good enough
Okay,
to start
Kenny
day one? If he couldn't beat out Trubisky in camp, that should tell you something right there.
I think that Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky are pretty evenly matched talent-wise.
I do too.
But I agree with that they didn't want to throw him into the fucking wolves. So,
That's Tomlinson. He's not going to do that.
correct. I think Trubisky's going to go out for the first 4 or 5 games, probably not perform, probably perform like he can,
Just like he
and then
did in
they'll
Chicago.
throw Kenny Pickett in there. But I don't think.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll win.
I don't
do
think he will either.
okay.
I don't think the sample size will be big enough.
Well, who do you think? I said Brees Hall.
So I have
Possibly Chris Olave.
my pick, and I have an honorable mention as well.
Okay.
My honorable mention is, I just had a moment here. James Cook,
Yeah.
running back for the Buffalo Bills. Brees Hall has Michael Carter, and Brees Hall has an offense with the quarterback out, and I think the Jets are going to take time to acclimate Brees Hall into the offense a little bit more because they're not going to be that productive coming out of the gate. That's number one. Number two, Kenneth Walker's in Seattle. There's decent running back depth ahead of him and behind him, and Seattle's going to be a complete fucking shit show. James Cook has the opportunity to be the number one running back in the bell cow for possibly the best offense in football. They're not sold on Singletary or any of the other garbage that's been there. Zach Moss, I don't even know if he's still on the team, but there's no one guy there. I think Cook has that possibility in Buffalo. As we know, they're the best, on paper, the best offense in football, probably the best team in football on paper. And if he's 75% of what his brother is,
Right.
I mean, my God, you know, the potential is there for him to have an absolute monster season if they just. Buffalo's going to be
And
so
he's
good.
averages 6 yards per carry here in the preseason.
Exactly.
Which is nothing to shake a stick at.
Buffalo's offense is going to be so good if they go out there and just throw him in and let him do his thing from week one and
Just think about how that will open that offense.
Oh my
up.
God. So he's my honorable mention, but my offensive rookie of the year pick is Treylon Burks.
Okay.
I think if he can fill even 60% of that A.J. Brown role,
Yeah.
and if they can pepper Robert Woods with enough targets to allow him to get open, and Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry, Treylon Burks will have the opportunity to be the number one receiver on that team pretty quick, right out of the gate. I think out of all of the rookie receivers, he is the most NFL ready. If you watch the way he runs routes, and intangibly he has great size, I think Treylon Burks more so than Christian Watson. I think George Pickens is going to take some time, even though he had a really impressive camp. I think if Tannehill can rely on Burks, he has the skill set to be the number one receiver for the Titans. Pretty quick. I think he will have a monster year. I think, honest to God, I wouldn't be shocked to see him have like 1,010 season. And that might be bold for a lot of people, but I think you could see that happening. Just because,
It's the game now, too.
right, and the
I mean,
running,
these guys come right in, they're 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns.
right.
Look what Jamar Chase did last year.
Well, Jamar Chase
As the
transcended.
number basically come in, was number 2 to T. Higgins,
Right.
and absolutely surpassed everything that you could imagine.
If you're going to see a rookie receiver do even half of what Jamar Chase did last year, I think it'll be Burks. I really do. Drake London has too many question marks. I mean,
he's just not healthy.
we don't know. Right. We don't
Would
know
love
how
to see
healthy
him
he is.
healthy.
Yeah.
I mean healthy, come into camp, come out of camp healthy and ready to go week 1.
Right. This conversation
not.
would be a little bit different if that was the case.
Right.
But it's not. And I think you have a lot of question marks about Atlanta's offense. Tennessee's offense, we know exactly what it's going to be.
Right.
Hand off the ball to Derrick Henry as many times as you possibly can without getting him hurt. And then
Shoot one over the top.
and then go down the field. And that's going to be Burks. And that's why I picked him for fantasy, and that's why I'm picking him here for my offensive rookie of the year.
Well said.
Okay.
Defensive rookie of the year.
Very in depth.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Did my homework on this
It's
one.
insightful.
Defensive rookie. Did I open your eyes a little bit with that one?
A little bit. I don't agree with a lot of it, but as far as him being the best pro-ready receiver, no. I didn't agree with that. I think Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson are better than him.
Well,
That's my opinion. That's all.
and Olave probably is. I don't think I would disagree with you on Garrett Wilson a little bit. I think
I
Olave.
think Garrett Wilson's a little underrated. You'll see how good Garrett Wilson is when this season starts.
As far as defense goes, I know that you're going to have a lot of opinions on this one.
Well,
So
I mean, defensively, I got a shit ton of guys I love,
yes,
right
but
now.
who's going to be a step above the rest?
but who's going to be the step above the rest? So obviously, it's going to have to be somebody that can come in right away and make an impact for their team, and not only the team but the league. They
Yeah.
got to impact the league.
I agree with that.
So who do you think? I want to start with you this time instead of me. Who do you think is the defensive rookie? Who's going to be defensive rookie of the year?
Well, I have
Maybe honorable mentions, and then
an honorable mention, and then I have
Okay.
my pick. My honorable mention is going to be George Karlaftis,
I love that.
and
Love that.
strictly because I think the Chiefs need a blow-up big playmaker on that defense, and I think he could really be the guy. Like, I there's something that tells me in a couple years.
Do you remember when we were doing the draft stuff, and people talked about his hands? that puts you to an elite level fast.
I know
If
that.
you have good hands as a defensive player, that will put you at an elite level fast.
The Chiefs need him
Yes.
from day one to
Well, they got
perform at
Frank
an-
Clark and Jones, the tackle
Yes.
Jones, Chris Jones,
I know that.
and that's it.
Right. And they don't neither of those guys are going to be that
They got
explosive.
two very, very young linebackers in Nick Bolton and Will Gay.
And-
Those are the two guys. They were both rookies last year.
Right.
And you're going to get another year under their belt where they could start playing faster now. That's going to make a big difference. And you put Karlaftis with them guys.
The thing is about Karlaftis, if you watch him play, he's not the biggest, he's not the most powerful, but he has elite quickness that's going to allow him. He's going to be sneaky.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to set that move
I
and
like
get
it.
around the guy.
That's- All right. If he's your
That's my honorable mention.
honorable mention, I'm really curious to hear who do you think is going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
Really?
That's my honorable mention.
So, and this took a lot of time for me to figure out because,
Okay.
as we know, the whole front of the first round was defensive rookies.
Yep.
Okay. And I think they're all going to make an impact, but I don't think Hutchinson's going to put up the numbers necessary to do that. I don't think his sack numbers are going to be out of this world. I love him as a player, but I think he's going to be consistency over highlight reel. Thibodeau is already hurt, which worries me, and the Giants are a shit show right now, and I think they should use him properly to not get him more hurt, and I think that injury is going to make him a little wary off the rip. Trayvon Walker was the one big question mark for me here. The whole thing is, I think there's so many playmakers on the front of Jacksonville's defense that he might get a little overshadowed at first. Granted, when I say a little overshadowed, I mean a little, because he is obviously a big name and a big talent. Sauce Gardner is going to come in, and I think he'll solidify. He is going to be the number one guy on that Jets secondary, period, end of story. He is going to be the playmaker. Good quarterbacks in this league have a tendency to try and pick on young corners and pick on their inexperience. We all said this going through the process, that Gardner could be the number one pick. Obviously, he had the talent to be. I don't agree with it because I would never take secondary in the top 3. I've said that a million times, but he had the talent to do it. It's kind of been a quiet preseason for him.
Well, Stingley went at 3.
I know. I hated that. I thought that was too early for him. I think Gardner is going to be a human highlight reel. I think he's going to make an instant impact. I think he is going to be the sole.
He's going to be Jalen Ramsey.
Correct.
Is that what you think?
Yes, I think he is going to be Jalen Ramsey.
Patrick Peterson.
Yes, he is going to be a lockdown on an island corner from day one that the Jets will be putting on whoever's lining up as the number one receiver.
And I'll tell you what's
them.
great, what's going to help Sauce Gardner, especially through this whole camp process they went through, him going up against guys like Braxton Berrios.
Yes.
And guys like Garrett Wilson.
Right.
This is going to do nothing but help him. You got top-tier talent that's going to show him everything he needs to see out of receivers. Is there anybody that's as impressive as I can't even tell you how impressed I was with Braxton Berrios. Is there anybody that runs routes like this guy that is as quick as him? There's not many guys that are that quick.
No.
And I think him going up against a guy like that is going to make him even better.
I agree with that. In the whole thing is he has to be the guy on the Jets secondary. He has to be the guy. So if he is half as talented as we think he is, he will be a human highlight reel. He will be in the talks at the end of the year as a top 5 corner in this league, and he'll be, I think, wildly impressive.
I think that's awesome.
So I went first, so go ahead.
No, I want to hear
Bruce, go ahead.
Bruce's
Well,
opinion.
I have Ahmad Sauce Gardner as my honorable mention,
Okay.
but I want to say Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, okay. That was predictable.
Okay.
Typical, but the way I've been seeing him play, he's fast, dude. He can make plays. His ceiling is pretty high. He can do it.
There's one more thing I want to say about Hutchinson and why I don't think he's going to have the numbers to win this award. The other problem is offensive lines can double team him every fucking play if they have to, and not have to really worry about anybody else. I mean,
That's not true. Bruce will tell you who they have to worry about. Tell him, Bruce.
Malcolm Rodriguez.
No.
Charles
Oh,
Harris.
Charles Harris.
There you go.
I mean,
Charles Harris.
Charles Harris had a decent year last year, and I'll give him that. But I don't know what it is. Hutchinson doesn't, for me, and everybody talks about it, but I don't see it on paper. He doesn't have that explosiveness like some of these other guys.
He's
He's got fast hands.
He's got fast hands.
I'm
yeah.
going to
Really
say
fast
this.
hands.
This is the part that separates the men from the boys. You remember when Myles Garrett came out? Do you remember how effective Myles Garrett was
Actually,
as a
he
rookie?
was on my fantasy team his rookie year.
You remember how he would turn the corner, bend, and explode on quarterbacks? Vaughn Miller.
Yeah.
Vaughn Miller. Is there anybody that has a better first step than Vaughn Miller? No. And when Vaughn Miller gets to the quarterback, havoc's coming. You don't see that with Hutchinson. He's an effort guy. He gives it all his effort, but there's a talent issue. Is he solid? He's going to be a solid pro, dude.
Yeah.
But is he going to be elite? No. I don't
We'll just
think
have
so.
to wait to see.
I agree with that because I think between
I don't think I all through the draft process we said the same thing.
yeah.
He is not.
He will be as
elite.
consistent as they come.
Yeah.
But I think his consistency will be 7 or 8 sacks a year.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
Ceiling. That's
Correct.
a ceiling.
Yeah.
You get more out of him than that, it's bonus.
I agree.
Bonus, baby. Not many rookies come in and put up 7, 8 sacks a year, dude.
Yeah.
There's not many guys that do that. TJ Watt, what did he come into the league? I think he had like 6 sacks his first year.
Yeah, I mean
You know, he had like
Kept on
20 last year.
Right.
I mean, it takes time, dude.
okay.
Yeah.
So Mr. Defensive Guru, who do you have then?
Oh, I have a couple of guys actually that I was thinking.
Okay, let's hear it.
My honorable mention will be I like Sauce Gardner too. I'm a big Sauce guy. I liked him from the get, but
It's because his name
my
was
my guy
Sauce.
might be a little. He might not have the superior numbers and all that stuff.
Can I guess who it is?
Go ahead.
Nakobe Dean.
Yes, I think Nakobe Dean will win Defensive Player of the Year because he will be the catalyst on a defense that's going to be elite
I will say this.
and a signal caller.
If Nakobe Dean wins Defensive Player of the Year, everybody in Philadelphia's front office deserves a raise.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody.
Absolutely.
They took the risk.
To
They
take
got
a
him
chance
late.
on a kid. And I've watched him in the preseason. It just seems like he has a knack for being around the football. Wherever the play is going, he's there. And you don't see a lot of guys that have that. Is he Mecca Parsons? Maybe not. Maybe not. He don't have his physical attributes that Parsons has, but his instinct is as good, if not better, than Parsons.
I can't really disagree with you there after watching
Yeah.
the film on him.
I watch him. I've been watching him the whole preseason, watching what he's doing, and that's says a lot that you have a rookie coming in and he's your signal caller on defense. Come on.
You know what? It's
And
tough
shout
to
out to Malcolm Rodriguez. He's my second.
if Malcolm
Honestly.
Rodriguez, is
He's
the
my
finalist
second
for
guy. I'm
defensive-
going to tell you this. Not many guys can come in and beat out a 7-year vet at a position as a rookie and not highly
a 6th-round rookie.
a 6th-round rookie come in and take a job from a veteran.
Did you watch
That
Hard Knocks?
doesn't happen. Huh?
Did you watch Hard Knocks last night?
No.
No, I did.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
I don't need to. I watch the games.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
you want to know
cool
what
the way they were talking about
the
it.
funny thing about him is?
I'm going to be honest with you. The Hard Knocks thing, dude, the last episode I watched was shit.
Yeah,
I thought it was shit. You know what? I really did.
this one was actually, it wasn't like disappointing, but it was.
The last one's
was-
always good. It's because when guys get caught.
Yeah,
And I remember watching the Jets and
Templeton made
John Connor getting
Giants.
cut and all them guys getting cut from the Jets way back. Somebody else worked out for that team and got cut.
Hold on.
Ocho Cinco.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? It's sad. Sad to see these guys. Some of them are long in the tooth, but some guys, they get job. It's a good opportunity for them to land somewhere else.
Right.
yeah.
Look at the
David
quarterback,
Blow.
the shit bag.
David
What's
Blow.
his name?
Shitbag. David Blow.
David Blow. Did anybody blow worse than David Blow?
No.
Yeah,
Maybe
Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle.
Real quick about Malcolm Rodriguez. The real interesting thing about him beating out Anzalone, because that's who essentially he beat out,
Right, high school.
high school Anzalone.
Yes.
Dan Campbell and Anzalone came over together from New Orleans
Correct.
and were like
Well,
boys.
Anzalone's the only one who knew the system.
Right. And somehow, not only did he beat out a 7-year veteran, not only did he beat out a team captain, he beat out a guy who came with the head coach, who the head coach had all the trust in the world in him. That should tell a lot about how talented Malcolm Rodriguez is. And I'll give it up. If this guy is half of what they made him look like in Hard Knocks, if he's half that player, Brad Holmes deserves an extension just based off of that.
He reminds
I
me
mean,
of
you
Zach
saw it
Thomas.
in preseason.
That's exactly who he reminds me of.
My man's
Zach
got the,
Thomas.
He's got the fucking juice.
And he's just there. He's another guy that he's a ball hawk. Where the ball is, that's where he's
Did you
at.
see his size? He's
Not tall.
5'10".
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Christopher's size.
Yeah. I mean, he's a fucking
There's-
inch taller
listen,
than me.
I don't think there's ever small linebackers in the league. The Kobe Dean is not a big guy.
No, but I mean,
The Kobe Dean is 5'10".
Malcolm Rodriguez is tiny for a linebacker.
Well,
And-
not really. I mean, Zach
Hold on.
Thomas was
Hold on.
5'9".
You guys were roasting me last week because I was talking about
False. I roasted you like a month and a half ago when you posted him on the Instagram, and nobody fucking knew who he was. So congratulations. You have done one good thing and had one good early pick, and I appreciate you for that. See, we keep him around for that one jewel every
Anyway.
once in a while. All right, those are the
After
rookies.
the draft.
So now we're going to talk about players of the year overall.
Okay.
You want to start with offense or defense?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want.
Let's start with offense.
Okay.
Offensive player of the year.
I got a couple.
Let's start with Bruce then. Go.
Let's start with Bruce.
Well, it's hard not to say Jonathan Taylor,
Okay.
Okay.
but I also have Josh Allen and Debo Samuel.
Debo was in the
Well,
interesting
pick one. Who do you think is going to be the player of the year?
It was hard for me to figure that out. So that's why I just put all three of them down there. Because they're all going to have great years.
Usually, offensive
They're all
player
gonna
of the
have
year is a
great-
quarterback, to be honest
Well,
with you.
not always. Last
necessarily,
year was
but-
Cup. I mean, if you could see Debo Samuel having half of what Cooper Kupp did last year, then yeah, there's your offensive
Yeah.
player of the year.
But then again, if Josh Allen does what he did last year, but more, he could be offensive player.
I got news for you. Josh Allen will not be the offensive player of the year.
Okay.
I don't see it.
Okay.
But is that your pick? Is Josh Allen?
Nah, I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. there we go.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor.
Here's my
I mean,
first guy on
that's
there,
your
so I
pick.
might as well stick
That's the
with it.
safest pick there
Hey,
is.
and what he did last year, who wouldn't pick the guy?
I agree.
I get it. I
I
get
agree.
that. I get that. Totally understandable.
You?
I think Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
I mean, I get why.
I know it sounds
Wow.
like a reach, but watching him come in this year and seeing how he just really dedicated himself to get stronger, and I think he's going to be unbelievable.
Passing the ball more.
He's got to throw the ball more.
He's got to throw
He's
the
got to throw
ball.
the ball more.
I think he's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Fingers crossed, because I would love to see that. I want to see.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Ravens.
Well, he's won an MVP, and I think he could do it again.
I'd love to see the Ravens live up to their actual potential. My honorable mention was Debo Samuel, because the only reason why I wouldn't give it to him is because of Trey Lance, and I don't know how much of a Trey Lance truther I am yet. But if they
I don't
utilize,
think anybody knows that.
I don't
to be
think
honest.
anybody does either. If
Maybe
they
the
utilize,
people in San Francisco are the only ones that kind of like him
I agree.
because nobody else knows who he is.
If they utilize Debo this entire season, the way that they utilized him towards the end of last year, and he stays healthy, he will have insane numbers. There's one person who I think's numbers will be better than his, both across the board,
Okay.
and that's Austin Eckler. I think Austin Eckler is the most underrated elite running back in football, number one. I think he's the most underappreciated talent in the NFL, number two. Rushing-wise, he has the potential to lead the league.
Listen, if this guy could do 1,000
And
back in the day, that's what Roger Craig did.
right. And
Yeah.
I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that Eckler could do that.
Marshall Faulk.
If this Chargers offense is as good as everybody thinks it is, Eckler is talented enough to have a 1,000 season. He is talented enough to be a top 3 option for Herbert throwing the ball, and he can easily rush for 100 yards a game. Easily. If they get the ball, if the Chargers utilize Eckler the way they should and get the ball to him 20 plus times a game, they won't lose. Like, And on top of that, you have Mike Williams and you have Keenan Allen to open up that offense and open up those running lanes,
Right.
stretch the field. I'd really think this is Eckler's year.
Coming out party.
This is his put everybody on notice.
Well, I don't think it's. I think everybody is on notice of him. Because if you look at the drafts, he's picked very high.
true.
But he's on notice because of point totals.
Yeah.
For some reason, when you talk about those, you know what Austin Eckler is? He's the redheaded stepchild. He is the forgotten one when you're talking about the best running backs in this league.
Yeah.
The elite running backs in this league. Austin Eckler, numbers-wise, should be in the conversation with Jonathan Taylor and Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook.
I agree.
And all of those guys.
I agree.
And that offense is set up now to where he should lead the league in every category, period. He should be the best pass-catching running back. He, realistically, with the revamped line that the Chargers have, could lead the league in rushing. He's already a touchdown machine. Eckler, Offensive Player of the Year, and, I mean, honest to God, I think by the time the season's over, you can make a case for him for MVP.
He's very slept on.
He's very
Very
underappreciated.
Yeah.
He is a fucking talent.
Especially when we posted our running back rankings, people were freaking out. They hated Eckler where we put him.
Right.
Way
I had
lower.
him, I think, top.
They're like,
what,
are
I
you
have
kidding
4 or
me?
5.
He's
Eckler-
underrated, man. People don't appreciate
People
it.
don't
Yeah, no,
appreciate
they
him.
don't.
And
No,
this
he's
year will be the year they have
electric.
to. I'm telling you.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because he come out of nowhere.
Huh?
He come out of nowhere, dude. That's why. If he was Saquon Barkley was putting up his numbers, everybody would be like,
They'd
the
have a
greatest
gold
of all
jacket
time.
on him already. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Because he come out of nowhere. Sort of like years ago when a little guy from Jackson State who basically was an NFL all-time leading rusher for quite a few years after he retired before Emmitt Smith broke his record, which that was by default.
Okay. Anyways.
Meaning Barry Sanders is the greatest running back ever played a game. Go ahead.
Truly.
You
Truly.
want the title? There it is. Defensive Player of the Year. You want to go last? Did I skip you for Offensive Player of the Year?
No.
Oh, you went. Okay, my bad. I had a moment there. Defensive Player of the Year.
Go ahead.
I'll let Bruce start. Go ahead.
Okay, Bruce.
Well, you guys shot me down on TJ Watt.
No, if you wanted to pick TJ
well,
Watt,
No,
think
I
it-
actually
hey,
have
it's a
Miles
great
Garrett.
pick.
That's my honorable mention. I have Miles Garrett above him.
you do.
Okay.
I do.
All right, good for
Because
you.
I think Miles Garrett is going to be explosive this year, just like
Yeah, too bad you're only going to win 4 fucking games this year.
That's the
but-
problem.
Yeah.
Eh,
Okay.
the thing is about Miles Garrett,
if you can contain from getting
he's
thrown out
all
of a
they
game.
fucking got. He's
true.
it. So there's a very good chance he puts up stellar numbers. And I think that's a pretty good pick.
I do too.
Yeah.
Who's your honorable mention?
TJ Watt.
Oh, okay. All right.
My honorable mention is Khalil Mack.
Okay.
I think
You
Khalil-
think he's
wow.
going to.
I think he's going to have a
has that?
resurgence. I think
Okay.
he's going to have a really, really big impact on the Chargers.
Okay.
I see it. I see it
I
happening
can
for
see.
him.
I can see. What
Okay.
You're saying. Yeah, I can see.
They're so talented that you got to respect everybody on that offensive line. Their DBs are stellar. I think they're the quarterbacks. The quarterback, it's going to take time to read that defense, and I don't think Khalil Mack will allow him to take the time he needs.
Okay.
And I think that
He kind of reminds me of Sue.
is he going to be the Khalil Mack of old? No, I don't think we're going to see that again. I don't think we're going to see that Oakland Khalil Mack, that supreme dominance. But I think you're going to have a guy who could be the best pass rusher in that division. Truly.
Okay.
You're sitting here nodding like you completely disagree with me.
No, I don't disagree with you. I feel a little differently because who's your honorable mention?
That was my honorable mention.
Mac?
Is Khalil Mack.
Okay. Who's your guy?
My pick is Nick Bosa.
Okay. Hard to argue that.
Yeah, a little banged up. I don't think injuries will be an issue for him this year. I think the
He's been
highlight.
banged up since he come out of college.
I know that.
The only thing that's scaring me right now is this guy can't stay on the field.
I think this year will be the year he stays on the field.
Joey Bosa was the same way when he came up.
Yes.
He missed a lot of games early.
Right.
Early
And now, I mean, now you have consistency out of Joey.
I think it takes time for these guys to learn how to keep their bodies protected.
Yeah.
And play at an elite level.
And be as explosive as they have to be. Yes. Correct. I agree with that.
All right. As far as my honorable mention will go, as far as who I think is going to be, it's Aaron Donald. I think he will be the honorable mention. Because obviously they're going to make the playoffs and stuff, I believe, and they'll go deep. I don't think they'll repeat, and if they do, you got to give all the credit in the world to Aaron Donald if they get there again.
What about Matthew Stafford?
No, defense won that game, and mine is actually in the same division as your honorable mention. I got a feeling Chandler Jones could possibly be Defensive Player of the Year. I really do.
You know what? I can't really argue with you on that.
And there's a reason why I'm going to say this. You have a stud on the other side of him with Max Crosby, who's just getting better and better every year.
A certified young stud, yeah.
Young stud. Mm-hmm. A very revamped defense over there in Oakland. They had such a shit show with what happened with the coaching and everything last year. I think finally they're on track. They're on track. I love Josh McDaniels. I think that they're going to be very good. And I think Chandler Jones, as effective as pass rushers go, in the past 5 years, the guy's in the top 3 every year.
Yeah.
And I think putting him on a team with a defense that's that young and turning this guy loose. I watched him last year at 5 sacks in one game last year. And you could see that again. I could see him doing that again.
Yeah.
I really do. I think he will be up there. I bet you he's going to challenge the sack record this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's bold.
That's a bold prediction.
Bold.
Right there.
And I mean, an older guy. Chandler Jones is not no spring chicken. You know what I mean?
No, he's been around for 10 years.
I know.
You know, we're not even counting him 4 or 5 years he was in the Cardinals. What about when he was with the Patriots?
Yeah. That's what
the
I'm
only
saying.
reason why he's not a Patriot is they didn't want to pay him.
Correct. And he had to get paid. Yeah.
Bill Belichick did not want to pay him. So that's why he bolted.
We're going to go over MVP right after a message from our sponsors. Since 1953, Metro Detroiters have trusted one name for all their produce needs. Joe Randazzo's Fruit and Vegetable prides itself on providing the freshest and highest quality produce at the absolute lowest prices. Their 4 locations in Detroit, Dearborn Heights, Westland, and Roseville, have a wide variety of ethnic produce from all around the world. One of the few remaining produce-centric markets left in the country, I can assure you your time shopping at Joe Randazzo's with its open-air and old-world market feel will be nothing but an enjoyable one. Coming off of a fresh remodel, cleanliness and safety are priority one, with quality, low prices, and customer satisfaction being a very close second. Come see why for the last 6 decades, many have tried to imitate, but no one can duplicate. Joe Randazzo's Fruit and Vegetable, serving Detroiters the freshest fruits and vegetables since 1953. So, MVPs, our MVP picks for the 2022 season. Who would like to start? Anybody? Okay, me.
MVP of the league?
MVP. League MVP.
Oh, I didn't even choose one.
I'll start.
Go ahead.
I'll start. If things go the way, if go right for him, possibly, if they're successful and they make it deep into the playoffs, I'm thinking maybe Derek Carr.
What the fuck?
Yes, I know.
Wow.
If things go their way,
I don't know what to
and
say.
that team is successful, and they get a nice push, you'd have to give it to him. They'd have to go deep into the playoffs. Deep.
MVP is a regular season award.
Oh, regular season MVP. Okay.
I mean, that's what the MVP is.
Well, regular season MVP is real simple. Last year it was Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Correct?
Correct. Which was a robbery.
You know, Aaron Rodgers was great and got bounced out in the first round.
Yep.
So
Hey, I'll tell you what.
I'm gonna go with Patty Mahomes.
Wow.
Because he's cute.
Poop take.
Poop pick.
Poop take. Yeah.
Oh,
Poop.
Patty Mahomes.
I don't know what podcast I was watching. I think it was something. They were doing something on a bus, and Aaron Rodgers was on it.
Bussin'
I've
with the
actually
boys.
come around to actually.
Listen, there's nobody
Really-
cooler than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's
He just
actually
sits around and smokes peyote.
he's a
and
pretty
plays
cool
Can
dude.
Sit around and smoke fucking meth all day long.
Hey,
I
I
take
listened to
everything
him-
back.
I listened to him on Rogan, the 3.5 hour long
I
podcast
couldn't
with him
get
on
through
Rogan.
it. It
I
was
made it
so
through the whole
fucking long.
thing,
Yeah.
and I had a newfound respect for him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He's just that dude.
Hey, he's a real
Exactly.
dude.
And on the
Yeah.
field, when the Lions are playing him, or if he's playing a game, I want him to absolutely collapse.
Yeah.
But as a person, he's an awesome dude.
I just don't
Hey, at
know.
least he's a real guy.
Yeah,
dude.
he's
not
real.
fake
Yeah,
like them
no.
other guys are.
He's cool as
Like
fuck.
Pat
And
Mahomes.
I'll
He's
give
not
that
fake.
to
He's
him.
not-
I take everything I've ever
know.
said about him.
I
back.
just don't know if he's got the offense to do it this year. But who's your pick?
Justin Herbert.
Wow, that one I don't
I hear
mind. That one
I
I,
agree with
don't.
Gonna have an
man.
explosive year.
That one I really.
I think
don't
it's going to
mind.
be
I've
Patty
been saying
Mahomes. I
it.
think they're gonna make a 360 this year. The defense has gotten better. I believe they're going to run the football more, and it's going to take pressure off of Patty Mahomes. So he
Thing is,
won't
I
be
feel like
turning the ball over
We've
like he
seen
did last year.
Mahomes. We've seen what he can do. We've kind of seen his ceiling, but not really.
Mahomes?
Yeah.
No, we've
You
seen
haven't
his
seen.
ceiling.
You think we've
Justin
seen his
Herbert.
ceiling?
I think we've seen Pat Mahomes ceiling. You have not even seen what's close to Justin Herbert.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going with Justin Herbert.
Oh, I'm picking Tom Brady. In case anyone was wondering, I think they're going
Sail off into the sunset.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. They've robbed him.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's going to be a season MVP, and that's not going to fucking matter because they're going to make the playoffs, and that's where they're going to make their noise.
I think he.
It won't be during the season. They're going to lose probably 5 games.
Yeah, they
and
might just not get
4
it.
of them they shouldn't lose.
It's Tom Brady.
It doesn't. Okay, if they lose 4 games, they go 13-4.
Okay.
Packers won't do that well. I don't think the Chargers will have a record that good because they'll kill each other inside that division. Same thing goes for the Chiefs. I think the Buccaneers and the Bills will have the 2 best records in football. I think Brady will have to throw the shit out of the ball again to he's gonna lead the league, I think, pretty much in every statistical category. Last year he got robbed because he led Aaron Rodgers in every statistical category.
Yeah, but there was guys that led him in that categories too.
Well, Stafford.
Yeah.
And I mean, but they're not going to give the MVP to Stafford. You have to understand that the cult that is the NFL has 5 guys that they're considering for MVP.
Correct.
And that's Brady, Rodgers, Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and a flyer. Like, let's be real here.
Okay.
That's who they're going to pick for the MVP.
Well, that's why I took my flyer, which is
Pat Mahomes. And I guarantee he's in consideration no matter what he does.
well.
Brady.
They want Pat Mahomes, and I know this is gonna sound stupid. They want him to be the face of the NFL.
I'm aware, but in order for him to be
They,
the face
they pump him on everything they can.
in order for him to be the face of the NFL, you've got to get rid of the current face of the NFL,
Correct.
which is Brady.
I believe it. They want Brady gone.
Yeah, he's going
league
to be the
wants
thorn
Brady
in their
gone.
side for a few more years.
The league wants Brady
And-
gone. Nobody likes Brady, dude. Nobody does.
That's
His
untrue.
wife don't even like him. She left for the weekend. She went to Barbados.
I think Brady will be the MVP. I think he'll have another year just like he did. I don't think he's going to miss a beat. The offensive line worries me a little, but at the end of the day, if there's
The offensive line, you'll see it in week 1.
yeah,
They have a tough matchup
yep,
with Dallas. Dallas is their defense is no pushover.
no.
no,
Their defense is really good. The reason why they can't win is the inconsistent offense. That's why they can't win. But if they're able to get to Brady early, It's going to be a shit show for them.
They need to
In
utilize.
fact,
a
you know what? If they
someone
drop
at
that
running
game,
back.
I wouldn't be surprised if they lose that first game.
We will
I think
see.
it's going to take time for their offensive line to gel to really get to protect him.
Well, we're going to talk about that game and all of the games coming up on weekend one in Saturday's episode to preview you guys on all of the games happening over the weekend. But we have a game tomorrow night that we need to talk about. So let's get right into that. Going into the Thursday night matchup, we have the Rams at home against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Rams are coming off of a Super Bowl, which some people say
They got a little ceremony too going on there.
The ring ceremony.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not 100.
They already got
sure.
their rings.
Or the banner, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, most likely they will.
Maybe hanging a banner there in their stadium.
So,
What is it? SoCal Stadium?
SoFi Stadium. So there's some people who think coming off of a Super Bowl victory is a positive, and some people who think it is a bona fide negative. At the same time, the Bills came off of probably one of the most heartbreaking losses of last season to end it. And the same thing goes for that. When you have a loss like that, it's going to be still
It should motivate you to really tear ass.
Some people believe it's motivation. Others believe it might be something that they're still not over.
Okay.
So, they lost their offensive coordinator, the Bills did.
Okay.
So that is one issue that I see with the Bills. Number two is, I don't know how much faith I have in the Bills' running game yet, but I think there's cons for the Rams as well. The Rams lost the heart of their offensive line. The Rams lost their most explosive playmaker on defense,
Who they're playing.
who they are going up against. The Rams lost.
How pumped up do you think Von Miller is for this game?
I don't know. I don't think he left the Rams with any bad blood.
No.
Well, yes and no. Yes and
What do
no.
you mean?
What do I mean by that? When they opt to go in a different direction and let him go,
I don't think he wanted to be there.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either. I wouldn't want to be there either.
Well, he got his
What would
ring.
you want to be in LA
He got
for?
the fuck out, and now he wants Buffalo
Yeah,
to have
Aaron
a ring.
Donald. Oh, I'm going to retire.
Right.
Fuck out of here with that.
Well, the other
That's a
thing,
money play. I get it. But
the other thing is the Rams offense is interesting to me because everybody's so quick to say how explosive it is. But if you really break it down in depth, I don't know if it is.
it's not.
Obviously, Cooper Kupp is the best, if not the best, number 2 or 3 receiver in the NFL. Nobody's arguing that. The guy is absolutely incredible. And what he did on the field last year might never be done again. We'll start with that. Number 2, I think the duo of Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson as running backs is a very, very nice tandem. It's part of the reason why they let Sonny Michel go and other guys. I think they are really going to miss Robert Woods. And you'll say,
I agree with that.
and you'll say, oh, wait, but they got Allen Robinson.
Oh, God.
Allen Robinson is, for some reason, touted in this league as this highly talented receiver. We have not seen it. And that could be the Bears were that big of a shit show, that even more of a shit show than Jacksonville was when Allen Robinson was there, where he had his success. But Allen Robinson has done nothing over the last couple of seasons to really say, oh, wow, this guy has what it takes.
Yeah.
He's a top threat in this league. They paid him a lot of money to get him
Obviously,
there.
he's the number 2 now.
Absolutely.
Oh.
He is the number 2. But I don't think he's that great of a number 2.
Well, I mean, you got him and Van Jefferson.
Correct.
Jefferson's a little banged up.
Jefferson probably isn't going to play tomorrow night to start out the year. You lost Odell Beckham, who was a saving grace for you through the playoffs. You added Bobby Wagner.
which is the plus.
Absolutely love
That's the
that.
only thing that's going to save them defensively. As far as pass rush, they really don't they have a good pass rush. They don't really. Did they really need to keep Von Miller? It's pretty sad that Von Miller's at an age where he plays on one leg and was their best pass rusher. That's kind of sad, to be honest with you, but he's going to a team that's pretty fucking complete.
Absolutely.
All the way up and down. Their
kinda what he's
special teams
doing.
are good. Their
Kinda what
offense
he's
is good.
doing.
Their defense is good. If there's one where you said they lack is in the running game, they don't have a consistent back. That's about the only thing that team is lacking. They have 3 very good receivers there.
Yep.
They have probably one of the better tight ends in the league. They don't have one, they have 2. And defensively, they're going to miss Tre'Davious White. He's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a little impact for them. Who are they going to put on Cup?
Yeah.
And now they'll roll coverage toward Cup.
Correct.
So, but is Stafford going to be comfortable with a guy like Von Miller on him?
Yeah, that's a big question mark for me.
He's used to practicing with him.
Well, we don't know.
He's used to practicing with him, so
Well, I mean, yeah, practice is practice, though.
I know.
Game is a complete different animal.
But he knows how he plays, and he knows what to expect from him.
Here's 2 things that I noticed right away. One, that Rams offensive line is going to miss the shit out of Andrew Whitworth, period.
Absolutely.
Yes,
He was the anchor.
absolutely.
He was the backbone. He was the veteran. He was the soul of that offensive line. They're going to miss that, and we're going to see real quick how Stafford acclimates to that. That's going to be a big question mark for me, and that's part of the reason why I think the Bills are favored by 2.5 in this game. We're going to talk more about that line in a second. Number 2, and this is something no one is talking about. If you go look at the numbers for defensive tackle Sebastian Joseph Day last year, he was way more impactful on that Rams defense than anybody thought. And he's gone now. And I think they're going to miss that. I think they're going to especially miss that in the beginning of the season. I know their defensive line is not an issue, but he was a tackle machine. He was a big part of their run stop. And
that's where I think
Bobby Wagner's going to have to fill that hole.
Robinson kind of filled that gap for him.
He did. But again, the Rams' biggest issue is the fact that they have no money to accumulate depth. And that's worrisome. Because realistically,
I think their offensive line, I agree with you about losing Whitworth. And I think that's going to be huge for them. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know who they brought in to plug in his spot. That guy was a man-child.
well,
And that's the side that Von Miller will be coming from.
this is the other thing. If you look at the Rams offense, okay, again, Cooper Kupp is a weapon. Allen Robinson's a weapon if you want to call him one. All the above. Who is that safety net like Robert Woods was in the beginning of the year last year for Stafford now? Because I don't really see one.
Well, it was Beckham Jr. in the Super Bowl. When
Right.
he got hurt.
True.
And now he's gone. So what you're saying is Allen Robinson has to be that safety blanket because realistically the Rams don't have an out-of-this-world tight end. Tyler Higbee's okay at best. Yeah, I guess.
He's better than okay. And he's decent.
He's decent at best. But he's not
Everett was better than him, and he bolted.
he's not the safety blanket that a quarterback can rely on. And if you try and dump the ball off to Cam Akers, God knows, a bunch of times in a game, I don't know what'll happen there.
True.
So
Yeah.
they do have options, but I'm not nearly as sold as I was on them.
I can't wait for the game. I think these guys are going to be pumped up. They're going to be ready to go.
Well,
I think you're going to see a back and forth game. It's
Buffalo
gonna be
has a
neck for neck.
point to prove.
I agree with you there. Buffalo does,
Yeah.
Then again, the Rams don't want to lose their first game after winning the Super Bowl,
especially at home.
especially at home.
Oh.
So I think you're going to get this game's going to go back
That
and
usually
forth.
sets team up for a loss right there.
Let's
At home, little comfortable.
talk
think you're the
about that a
best.
little bit. So Vegas gave Buffalo a 2.5-point favorite
Okay.
away in the first game of the year against the Super Bowl champions. You can look at that 2 ways. Is that Vegas's lack of faith in the Rams, or is Vegas valuing Buffalo that much?
I think they're valuing Buffalo that much.
Yeah.
And you know what? I tend to agree with you. I was shocked to see that because for me, I thought you would see very, very close to an even line come out of that game. What that tells me, though, is if this game was being played in Buffalo rather than in L.A.,
they'd be a favorite.
Buffalo would be a touchdown favorite.
Yeah.
So I'm personally going to give Buffalo 2.5. I'm betting with Buffalo. I think that they're probably going to win this game by 7 to 10 points personally.
Oh, it'll be a close game. I think hopefully it's a shootout.
I would love to see a shootout.
I hope it's like that Kansas City Buffalo game. It's a shootout, and it comes down to the last seconds.
That's the best thing you can
That'd be
ask
sick.
for out of a game, realistically.
That's where best football's played, right?
I'm going to bet with Buffalo and give up the 2.5 because even if they win by a field goal, which I think they're going to win by more than that. This is how I think this game is going to go.
Jalen Ramsey's probably going to be on
Diggs.
On Diggs the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
And Diggs has not had success against him.
No, he has not. But the thing is you want to know what I was really thinking about? Gabe Davis has been talked about very high regard this offseason. This will be the game where you see if he's truly for real or not.
Yeah.
He has to perform like the number 2 receiver for this team.
I'll tell you what, he had a great playoff stretch last year, and I can't believe that this guy was wide open on every play. It was like, was it the defense that fucking up that bad, or is that guy that good?
I guess we're gonna see, and I think tomorrow will really be an inkling as to what we can expect out of Gabe Davis, and I think it'll be really interesting to see how they run. It'll be interesting to see how Cook is integrated in with Singletary and how they manipulate that run game. That's going to be very.
I'll tell you right now,
too.
Singletary comes out and is garbage.
Oh, it's going to be the Cook show.
You can say goodbye to him. And then Cook will be the guy.
One other thing, and this is I was throwing this around, and I hate making this prediction this early, but my fantasy play of the week this week is Dawson Knox. If you have him, start him at tight end. I think they're going to really, there you go, Bruce. Bruce picked him last night, so good for him. But I think they're really going to have to utilize Dawson Knox early and often tomorrow. Either he's going to be
here's the thing.
I'm
going to give you a little info on this. There's nobody that covers tight ends like Bobby Wagner. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Agreed.
That's why he was brought in. Not for pass rush, cover tight ends.
Well, we're going to see if that's true.
And run stop.
Nobody stuffs the run like Bobby Wagner and covers tight ends like.
So if you're betting this game, we're betting with Buffalo at -2.5.
Yes.
I think they're going to win this by at least a touchdown. Over under a 52. I got
I'm going
news
to say
for
under.
You. Really?
I'm going to say under. I think the defenses will be a little bit. Usually at this time of the year, the defenses are ahead of offense, and I think I what is it? 52.
52.
I think it's a push.
So you got to have at least 7 touchdowns and a field goal.
A push.
I'm going to go with the over because I just think.
I think it'll be that much of a.
I think Buffalo's going to come out.
Fire
and I think
show?
I think Buffalo's going to be the fire show. I think Cooper Kupp wants to show people out of the gate that last year wasn't a fluke. I really think that 7 touchdowns in this game is going to be pretty easy
okay.
You have to figure, will Buffalo score at least 28?
Yeah.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Well, Stafford put 21 up on that defense.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That 52 number sounded low for me off the rip.
Yeah. Will Stafford be able to put double-digit touchdowns on them?
Yeah, they will. You know something? There's a lot of rust in week 1 that needs to get shaken off still because none of the Rams starters played in the preseason. Literally nobody played. And I think they're going to have to knock some
the
rust
Buffalo
off.
starters played either.
No, they played more so than the Rams. You didn't know anybody who fucking played in the
I didn't see Josh Allen on the field.
I don't think Josh Allen played, but like you said, Cook got a few reps. I know Stephon Diggs got a few reps.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox, all those guys got reps in the preseason. whereas I didn't see anybody for.
I think for a team like the Rams and Buffalo, your guys don't need to be playing in the.
No, I agree.
They don't need to be doing that.
Right, that's why.
Last thing you need to do is get them hurt on some fluke
You
fucking
need to save
play,
your elites.
playing against some third string guy.
So real quick, let's go over some news. The Jets have announced a starting quarterback for this weekend's game. It
Super
will
Bowl
be
champion.
Super Bowl champion Joe Flacco, and have said that Zach Wilson's expected return will be week 4.
And he's actually sitting on waiver right now in our league.
Go ahead. Go.
I don't
Wanna
fucking.
pick
I
him
don't
up?
want him. I don't
No,
want him. I'm just
what?
letting you know.
That's smart for the Jets to do that. They don't need to put Zach Wilson at risk. He could probably play next week, but he's not going to. That's good.
Cliff Kingsbury said today that J.J. Watt is day to day and did not practice, so keep an eye on that. That is not good.
Especially losing Chandler Jones on that defense.
Damian Pierce has seemed to have taken the world by storm. The Houston Texans running back, he was named the starter today.
Okay.
So he beat out sexy Rex Burkhead for the job, and God knows what other garbage they have piled up down there. But that's going to be one to keep an eye on. He went really high in a lot of fantasy drafts this last week and gained a lot of momentum. But what do you think about him?
I like him. And he beat Marlon Mack out. Marlon Mack was had a great season, got hurt, and it seems like he's just trying to find a job now.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's sad. He couldn't beat out this kid.
Dawson Knox today got a 4-year, $53 million extension from the Bills. He does deserve it. And, hell, you want motivation to go out there and score 2 touchdowns tomorrow night? There it is right there.
Do it for Bishop Sacrum.
I think that is about it. Obviously, Hard Knocks concluded last night. We talked a little bit about it earlier. I thought the Lions showed...
You have to blink with it. You have to blink with it.
He's looking for a word.
No. You didn't watch the episode, so you don't know.
I thought the Lions showed what they wanted to. That they were gritty, that they were going to be...
They will fight.
Fighters, yeah. And I think they showed that.
I think I like what they've done here. I really do. Because I'm going to be honest with you, dude. That same old lion shit gets old after a while.
Yeah.
It really does. And I think these guys, and I'm not only talking about Dan Campbell, I'm thinking Brad Holmes and their coaching staff that they've put together, which players can relate to them because they were players. They've been in this league.
To that point,
I don't mind it.
When last night they were showing how everybody got cut essentially. Correct. And they were talking to them. And every single player in there had something to say about how they respected Dan Campbell or about how the way that Brad Holmes handles his business was truly unprecedented. And I would agree with that. Even guys that are leaving here had good things to say about the staff. And I think
that's refreshing.
Yes, that's refreshing.
That's refreshing.
You've never
heard
that
have former players coming out in public and fucking bashing the coaching staff was here when Shitbag was here. And
before that.
Deservedly so.
Right.
He's an idiot.
So I think that's
genius.
I think that's a huge step in the right direction for the Lions. And it kind of made you like that staff a little bit more. And you respect them because there's the history there.
Listen, these guys don't have a lot of Dan Campbell had zero head coaching experience. Zero till last year.
He has close to 0 brain cells as well, but my God, he will motivate you to run through a fucking wall.
Campbell.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell's probably one of the coolest head coaches I've ever seen.
Dan Campbell is one cool motherfucker, dude.
He is. He's that guy you'll go up to the corner, you'll drink beer with him at the titty bar, and then you'll go break some fucking goddamn mugs over people's heads.
Yeah.
When it's all over.
I agree with that.
And then you go home and get drunk some more.
Yeah, go back to his place and keep drinking.
Yeah. I like him. I really do. I get it. How far can they go? But here's the worst thing that can happen. They start out 0-7 like they did last year, dude. I'm afraid he's going to lose, guys. That's the only thing that scares me.
I don't think he will.
I think.
I do.
I think these guys have bought it.
I think you can only go so far with that stuff. But here's one thing about him that I'll say this above all other coaches I've seen. Because, Belichick would never do what he's doing.
He cares.
You know that. He fucking cares. He legitimately cares about his players.
Yep.
And cares and wants them to win.
Yep.
But you know what? Being a head coach in this league takes a lot more than that.
Yeah.
It really does.
And they need to have the talent, which I think Brad Holmes is in the step in the right direction. I
do too. I like what Brad Holmes is doing. I think what he's done in the past 2 years, I'm not just counting here, what he did with the Rams.
Yeah.
And don't let that be overshadowed. He came from the Rams with Goff.
Yep.
And they put together a juggernaut over there.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoy tomorrow night's game. Listen on, when's the episode coming out? Saturday. We're going to have Saturday release that will be previewing everything that is going to happen on Sunday.
And then Tugger Nuts will be tailgating Sunday.
I will.
With some video for all you guys.
Fly, Eagles,
Check
fly.
Come down and see Tugger Nut at Ford Field.
Fly, Eagles, fly on Sunday against the Lions. But Saturday's episode, we are going to preview every single Sunday and Monday night game. We're going to talk a little fantasy notes with it, a few things to watch out for, a couple of bets that you should make. All that will be in the Saturday release.
And not only that, frustrations of fantasy, too.
The frustrations of fantasy, yeah.
The venting of fantasy.
We're also going to talk about each of our surprises to watch for this season. So make sure you catch Saturday's episode for the full Weekend 1 preview. Now, if you're not following us on Instagram and Twitter yet, please do so at TipBalls, TikTok at TipBalls Podcast. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple, make sure to watch us on YouTube and subscribe. We are coming at you 3 times a week from here on out. Get ready. You'll hear from us on Saturday. Enjoy tomorrow night's game. Go Bills.